welcome to our YouTube channel Nest for Code, the place where code nourish. So in this video we will discuss the solution for the problem set 1 for the variables and numbers. So guys, if you have not tried these problems yet, you can find the link for the problems in the description below, and I will recommend you to try the problems first and then go for the solutions. Yeah, so the first problem was we want to swap three variables without temp variables. So what does it means, right? We don't need to use any extra variables to store the values temporarily, and we have to swap a with b and b with c and then c with a. Yeah, so guys, we know, right, normally we can write this program something like we store all this value in the temp numbers, right, something like this. Then we make, say, b equal to a, something like this. Yeah, but this is not allowed. We have to do it through without using any extra variables. So in Python, what we can do, let us suppose if I have two numbers and I want to swap them, I can simply say a comma b and b comma I. So Python supports the multi assignment, right? We can do assignments like this. And if we print this, let us suppose if we print now a, now let's execute this and we print in the next line. So if we print, right, a, and because a is an integer, if you want to print it with the string, we have to convert to a string, so we can just say print a string, and similarly we can say print b is plus string, and then we'll say b, right? So now we can see, right, the values are swapped. So we achieve this in just one line of code. Okay, now what we do want to do, we want to do it in this problem for three variables. So we can have a variable, say c equal to 5, right? And what we want to do, we want a to hold the value of b, b to hold the value of c, and c to hold the value of a, right? And then we will print them also. So this will be c, and then we'll put the c here, right? So now the output should be a should have become whatever the value b is holding. So it should become, the output should, like, for a should come as 2. Okay, so we forgot to execute this when we added c, so we'll just execute this and then we will execute this, right? So now a is holding the value which was b holding, which is 2, and b is holding a value 5 which was c holding, and c is holding a value which was a holding. So guys, this is very easy in Python. It's just a one line of code to swap three numbers without using a temp variable. You can do it for more also, not just three numbers. So I hope this solution is clear to you. So now let's go to the second problem for today. So the problem 2 was the area of the room. So let's go to the problem statement. We will be getting a length and width from the user, and we have to calculate the area, and right, user will enter, and we have to also print the area in the output, and these values can be in the decimal values. So we have to use float here, and output can also be the decimal values. There we also use a float, and we need not to worry of any errors because user will always enter a positive values. Okay guys, so let's see this problem area of the room. So what we will do, right, we will be taking input from the user. So we'll use the input method, and let us suppose we are saying enter length of the room, right? And user will be entering this length of the room, and let's we stored it in a variable, say length. And because as we is mentioned in the problem, this value can be the decimal value, so we'll just, so we have a float method. So whatever we read input from the user, right, all the inputs are always in a string form, so we have to convert it to the float because here it can be a decimal value. And similarly width also we can take from the user, and that also we need to typecast to the float, and then user will be entering the width of the room, right? So this is how the user will be entering the width of the room, right? And once we get the values, we need to compute the area. So we'll store area in a variable, right? And the formula of area is length into width. So we can simply do length into width, and we know because both of these are already a float variable, so the area will also come as a float, and we can just print to the user area of the room. And while printing, right, what we have to do, we have to convert this float again to the string because we are appending it to the string. So we can just use str method here and we can just print string. So this will be our second program where we want to compute the area of the room, right? Okay, so let us suppose we'll just see the test case also. In the length has 2 and width has 4, so the output should come as 8. So let us suppose we're giving the length as 2. Okay, so this test case is working as expected. Let's try the other test case, which is length is 2.1, width is 3.1, and area is coming as 6.51. Okay guys, so let's execute this program again. What was the length? Length is 2.1, we'll give the length as 2.1, and width was 3.1, so we'll give the width as 3.1. Area is coming as 6.51 and then lot of 0 and 1. This is because of some precision on the default case for the Python. So what we can do, we can there is a way also to print in the print method to print to a level of precision, but I will not go in that depth right now. We may just use a round method which allows you to round off a value to a level, and we'll round it to a level 2, right? So this is round method, right, which we can use. And once the round method, this round method, what it will provide as a, it will provide as a float value, and this will now be converted to a string value, right? So let's try it again. So what will round method do? It will just give us a decimal value till 2 places by rounding of the value. Right? So let's see the test case again. It's a 2.1 and 3.1. So we'll input 2.1 and then we'll input 3.1. And what's the value coming? It's coming as expected, 6.51. Okay, let's see the next test case, which is we have to, the length is 2 and the width is 4, and area should come as 9. So length is 2, width is 4.5, and area is coming as 9.0. The next test case we have for today is the length is 2.2 and width is 9, the area is coming as 19.8. So let's try this. Length is 2.2, width is 9, right? Width is 9 and area is coming as 19.8. Yeah, so guys, we are done with our problem 2 for the today. Let's go to the problem 3. So the problem 3 was like we want to get the sum of first 10 positive integers. What problem statement says that we will getting now one number, say n, from a user, and user is entering only single digit number or a single number, not just a single digit number, and we assume that user will always give us positive number, so we don't need to handle the cases for negative numbers. Okay, and we can use this formula which is there, n into n plus 1 by 2 to compute the sum. Okay guys, so let's see, and we will getting input from the user. So yeah, so we know to get the input from the user, so we'll just say n, and if we are getting this input from the user, so we'll just enter a number. We'll just ask user to enter a number, and because the user whatever it's enter, right, input method returns everything is in a string, so we'll need to convert it to a number which is an integer, right? And to compute the sum, let's suppose we set a variable sum first n, right? We'll use a formula which is n plus 1, right? N into n plus 1 by 2. So this will be the value at the top, right? And we use this formula, and because of the precedence of the operators, we have to properly put these values and then by 2. So this will be our sum value, and what we can do, we can also print this value, right? We have to print this value to the user, and we'll say sum of first n integers, right? And then what we'll say, sum first, and what we have to do, we have to convert it to the string because we are concatenating it with the string, right? So okay, let us suppose, okay, so we'll see the test cases also. So if the user is entering 1, the output should come as 1, or if we are printing sum, so we can just change this value to say sum. Okay, if user is giving 1, it should come as 1. It's coming as 1. Similarly, if user is giving an input, say 2, it should, in the user into 2, what is the value? 10. For 10 it should come as 55. Okay, so we'll try, let us suppose for 10 it's coming as 55. If the user is giving input as 25, it should come as 325. So let's suppose 25, our value is 325, right? And this is the value which was expected, 325. So I think we are good. So one thing is there, right? If we just want this, if we just want to avoid this decimal value, what we can do, we can just convert the sum to integer. We can just convert here also. So this will convert this sum to integer. So let us suppose if we execute now again for 25, it's just giving us 325. It's not giving us dot 0 because these are all numbers, so some will not have any decimal value, but because we have used a division operator, that's why it's give us a float. So we can just use this int and it should be done. So guys, I hope you have understood all the solutions for these three problems, right? So guys, subscribe our channel for such problems, and don't forget to like this problem set, right? And stay tuned, we'll be posting more such problems. Thank you guys. Bye bye.